Hi, welcome to my channel. This is the Clip Studio Tips of the Month, and today I'm going to be talking about steampunk. I'm going to share some tips with you on how to handle some of the critical points when it comes to creating a steampunk world. As always, check out my article on Clip Studio Tips. Link is in the description. Let's begin. We want to set a world where pipes, meters, gears, and of course steam are the protagonists. In this case, I chose to draw a greenhouse, but I want to include all the elements of steampunk. I'll be using two-point perspective. Setting the ruler is really simple. Just select ruler from the tool window and then click on perspective ruler in the submenu. If you want to learn more about the different types of perspective and how to use the perspective ruler properly, check out my article on how to draw castles. Link is in the description. The background is composed by a foreground made of elements that are close to the viewer, a midground where our characters and all the action will be, and finally a background that is far from the viewer and contributes to creating depth. It's a good idea to place pipes in the foreground, because they can act like a guide for the viewer's eyes. As you can see, the pipes converge through the center of the image in a specific place where I want the viewer's attention to be. A useful trick when you want to quickly sketch pipes in your drawing to see the result fast is to use the marker tool with a dimension that is equal to the diameter of the pipe you want to draw. The thickness of the marker tool will be the pipe's diameter. This method lets you easily visualize intricate patterns with pipes of different sizes. With the ruler active and using the marker tool, you can easily shape your pipe structure in no time and with the right perspective. When you draw backgrounds, it is essential to feed your imagination with real-world references. However, it's also crucial to play with proportions. If you see something in real world that catches your attention, take a picture and then try to imagine that object in a different scale. I wanted to create a silo to contain water. At first, I imagined a silo made of glass. But then I saw an egg that captured my imagination and decided to make the silo with an egg shape, made of glass and supported by a beautiful carved metal structure. Playing with the proportions is a great way to avoid getting stuck with an idea and to find solutions you didn't even think about. In the deepest part of my background, I decided to place the windows of the greenhouse because they can help me creating effects with light. But since in the greenhouse there is a lot of steam, I can use this to my advantage to give a sense of mystery to the scene, and enhancing even more the depth and the dimension of the environment. Create a new layer on top of the background layer, leaving the foreground and the midground layer untouched. Paint with your opaque watercolor and the white color selected. You want to create areas of white smoke. One last thing about backgrounds for the steampunk genre is to remember that they are not just there to fill the empty space behind our characters. They can play a role in your work. Especially in steampunk, the background is a crucial element. It's the gateway to a captivating world. And since it's a fantastic world, you can play a lot with your imagination. You want your viewer to explore the background with his eyes, fueling a sense of curiosity and a will to explore more of it. In order to obtain this result, every time you draw a gear or a pipe, think about the function. Why that pipe or that gear is in that specific place. Remember, even though the viewer may not be an expert, their mind will tell them if the word seems legit or not, and that makes a big difference. Select the tool Blend, Blur, and blur all the areas of the background layer that are covered with white smoke you drew before. When you're sketching your concept, keep an eye on the navigator. Go to the menu bar and select Window Navigator. This is a great way to see if the background works and if there are any parts that feel a bit weird and need to be adjusted. Since we are talking retro-futuristic style, we'll have loads of tech in our piece of work, and you will always be dealing with a lot of metal parts. But it's important to draw the metal parts always in an elegant way, adding details as if the metal has been carved by a master's hand. As you can see, I added some decorations, even pipes and cogs can be embellished. Let's see how to draw steam. The first thing you want to do is draw simple circles to define the area where you want the steam to be. You don't need to worry about being precise at this stage. Just think about the general shape of the smoke and the area that will cover. Have a look at this example to get an idea. As you can see, the movement of the steam develops from the bottom through the top, and it tends to expand as higher you go. At the left hand side of the screen, you can see the steam expanding through the air without pressure. On the other side, the steam has been ejected with pressure. In order to show the power of the pressure, the circles that constitute our base have an elongated shape. The ones at the bottom are really long. The circles at the top are almost rounded because the effect of the pressure tends to diminish. Following the edges of the circles, you can draw the steam. To obtain a good result, keep your wrist loose and make a smooth line without sharp corners. After you draw the external outline, keep using the circles to determine the shadows. Yes, you need to think about steam as a solid, so guess where the light comes from and draw the shadows accordingly. Another great thing about steam is that it can cover up parts of your drawing, or it can create an effect where the viewers can still see what's behind the smoke. This adds a lot of mystery to the scene. When it comes to representing a character behind the steam smoke, I usually use two methods. The first one is to draw the silhouette of the character with a darker color, and then add two layers on top in multiply blend mode. On the first layer, draw the overall shape of the steam, and with a marker tool select a color that is slightly less darker than the one you choose for the silhouette. On the second layer, draw the details of the smoke with the same marker tool. This is the result. In order to get the soft smooth feeling of the smoke, if you look closely to the picture, you can see how the shadows embrace upward the part of the steam, like a hand is grabbing the puff of smoke, and they are pushed from the bottom by the lighter part. When you want to draw this effect in manga, you want to show just a hint of the drawing through the smoke. To do this, simply create a new layer on top of the character and paint with white using the marker tool. This allows you to hide part of the outline of the character, and you can adjust it as much as you want because the original line art of the character remains intact underneath. This method is really handy, especially when you have characters with lots of intricate line art, like in this example. Before you start sketching your mecha, it's a good idea to look at some real-world references. In this case, it should be helpful to see pictures of steam engines, old trains, and other mechanical parts. You don't need to focus to the entire reference, for example the entire train. You only need to observe every single mechanical parts that you can reuse in your drawing. As you can see in this picture, I got my inspiration from nature. I wanted to give this robot the shape of a mechanical fish that is powered by steam. All the mechanical parts that I used resemble actual parts that you can find in reality, but the most important thing is the position where I put those parts and the connections between them. The engine is in the center because it's the heart of the robot. The meters are near the engine because they show data about pressure, oil, level of water, and so on. The propeller is in the back because it gives a propulsion effect. The shock absorber are in that complex mechanism that moves the fins. In other words, all the pieces are positioned thinking about the function. This is really important. As soon as you see the robot, you think who invented it, how it moves. That can also help you develop your story. I want to show you another example. In this example, I want you to focus your attention to all the small details I used in my concept. The head of the fish is like a spring-loaded carry-on, and it has an opening at the front where you put the coals. A pull rod at the back allows the fin to move. The fin itself is made from a stretched sheet of leather and supports. You can continue by yourself, exploring the other details in my drawing, guessing the function of every single part. Have fun inventing your unique steam world. If you like the video, don't forget to drop a like, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, see you in the next video, bye bye.